What is going on, everybody? How's your Friday? It's Friday. We made it. How many more Fridays left in 2020? I hope not too many. I could do without any more 2020. All right, here we go. Let's fade it in. Let's see if this works. It's a miracle. Every time it works. All right, and I'm going to. Is that loud again? Feels like the volume went up. All right, so it's day 2 in Purbeck. Let's do one thing before we get started. I do run filters in daylight. I like the way 19 looks. I will admit it. I don't necessarily like the glare of like stainless steel trailers, but I do like the way the game looks. I run filters. They look perfect in daylight, but check this out. Filters are on right now, and it's early morning. That's without. When I have my filters on, the game is just too dark. It looks good at noon, but at night, early morning, late evening, it doesn't look so good. So let's turn filters off, and we'll run without those till probably 10 a.m. in game. And let's also bump the time up to 5x, so we see a little bit more of the day. Because if we go 3 or 4 hours in stream and it's 7 a.m., that won't even be noon. If we go 5x, it'll take us to mid-afternoon, maybe even close to sunset. All right. So what is going on? Let me see. If we go here and then here, we got canola into field 1. I got canola into field 1. Can you see the cursor? Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Take a look up by preview. Yes, you can see cursor. Okay, so we got field 1 done with canola. We got field 2 done with wheat. We got field 3-7 done with wheat. And all these lines in field 3-7, they don't really seem to be there in real life. They're only there in the mini-map. We still need to do field 7 and field 6. And then our grass fields 4-0, 7-8, and 7-7 haven't grown yet. So let's do this. Let's put a hired worker on field 6, no tram lines, and let's figure out how we're going to do tram lines in field 7. It's kind of a big field in its own. I mean, it's different dimensions, obviously, but I think it's the same acreage as field 1, but with it being taller and skinnier, I think we're going to have more turns on this field because it's almost a square if you factor in this little corner down here. So we're going to have a lot of turns on this field. And I don't know if we have to do it manually to get tram lines or if we can get a hired worker to do it. I have some ideas. And the thing is, in 19, of course, with tram lines and with everything, if we make a mistake, if something goes wrong, we can fix it. And that was, I wouldn't say a complaint. Hang on. There we go. I wouldn't say it's a complaint. But in cattle and crops, if you make a mistake, you own it. Like, to the point of, I've restarted profiles. Because once you make a mistake, you're done. You got problems. So in 19, if something does go wrong, I can sort that out off camera. But for now, we're going to need to drive this down to the store. And I believe the store is open 24 hours. So we're going to drive down to the store, put some seed in here. We're going to leave it on wheat. And we're going to come back and get this field going. And that may, on 5x time, that may give us an opportunity to get a little bit more warmth going because the soil is 3 degrees. I don't think our seeds will die because the soil's not frozen. I mean, obviously they won't germinate till it's like 4 or 5 degrees. But I don't think our seeds will die if we put them into 3-degree soil. Did I say that right? I think so. And is this... Yeah, okay. The drill is up. It looks like it's dragging because it's so heavy on the back. Owen, what's happening, brother? How you doing? How's Friday treating you? So we'll get some seed in here. We'll come back. We'll get this on a hired worker in field 6, no tram lines. And then we'll hop into JCB and figure out what we're going to do in field 7 as far as hired worker, manual, horseplay. We'll figure that out. Once we get those two going, because field 7 is big. And I mean, I don't mind drilling this entire field in an episode with a 3-meter drill, but that would be, you know what I'm saying? That would be some ASMR. ASMR? AMSR. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, right on. Now, are you home all the way through the holidays, or are you headed back and then coming home again for the holidays? And I don't think we have any traffic on this lane, but I look just the same. I look anyway. It's just a habit. Probably a good habit. I don't know. I mean, are we ever going to have a farm sim with, I don't want to say proper AI traffic, but you know what I mean. Good, random AI traffic. I know the farm lanes in the Western Shore up by, I can't even remember the names of the farms in Western Shore, but the pig and dairy farm sort of in the center of the map. There's that little tiny single lane farm lane, and it does get random traffic. Okay, cool. Yep, I didn't know how long your break was, if you were already home or if you had to go back for finals or something. All right, on. Thanks for stopping by, man. I do appreciate it. And what else is going on? Oh, Wednesday. I started streaming X-Plane on Wednesday, and we were going to fly from Paris to Amsterdam in the Zebo mod. We made it. The takeoff was okay. I mean, we did cold and dark start, got the FMC program, flew the takeoff, and everything was cool. And then I adjusted some lights in my instrument panel, and the game crashed. Normally, I would think about restarting, or maybe restarting in a different sim, like Truck Sim or something. But for some reason, when X-Plane crashed, it took XSplit with it. It took my streaming app with it, and we're done. We're done. So I would have had to get everything going again, and then it would have. I haven't figured out a way yet to pick up a stream where a stream dropped off. It's like once the stream ends, it's done. And if we started another stream, it'd be another stream, and you'd have to click on that. And I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yep, slightly different in the U.S., but that's, I mean, I guess that's efficient in its own way, because you do have, I mean, it's nice to be home for the holidays and see family, but you do get a little downtime during the holidays. You can't do family 24/7. You need a little private time. So I did do X-Plane on Wednesday. I was traveling. I had to travel unexpectedly out of state for a couple days, but I wasn't able to stream yesterday, and I thought about doing a makeup stream X-Plane today, and there's two reasons I didn't. I don't like to go back to back with the same sim on consecutive days, even when there's a gap. You know what I mean? And nobody liked X-Plane. No, you don't like the flight sims. I feel terrible because I love them. And it's not like I'm trying to force you to like X-Plane, but I don't know, man. I think it's a cool sim. And I definitely want the channel to be like all aspects of sim gaming rather than just farm sim. But I know you like the farm sim, so we're going to hop back in FS19. The Freightliner Cascadia dropped for ATS, and the XML and the templates were already up on the Mod Studio 2. I don't know. The skinning app that I use, their Discord, they already have the XML for the Cascadia and templates for it. So I went ahead and skinned it, and we will do an ATS video tomorrow. And then Sunday, I think we're going to have to make up X-Plane. My OCD insists. It's, I don't know. I just feel like I'm unsettled because we made it halfway through the flight. So we'll fly Paris to Amsterdam again. Now, the nice thing is nobody showed up. So it's not like anybody's going to have to see it twice because there was nobody there the first time. So we'll do that same flight again from Paris to Amsterdam. Hopefully the sim holds up. I do have it, I wouldn't say heavily modded, but I've got X-Plane modded, probably 12 or 15 mods running. Some of them are pretty small and really like well-regarded, sort of proven mods. But you know that mod life. If you want your sims and games to run smooth, don't use mods. But who can do that? We all have mods running. So the Zebo mod, the 737 that I fly, it's a massive, really, really comprehensive mod. And it's updated sometimes 2 and 3 times in a week, typically just bug fixes and small things. But the developer is constantly working on it to the point where it's got an auto updater. It's got one-click updating. But then I've got some custom PBR textures in my cockpit, and I've got custom instruments and various other things. And as always, when you do that, you don't have access to this land. I just told it to lower. I need that message to stop blinking. Is it? Okay. I'm just lowering it. I'm not trying to do a hired worker. There. What? I don't know why that's happening. Okay. Well, let's go third person. I'm just trying to lower this thing, and it, right? Just trying to lower. I don't know. Maybe it thinks I'm trying to like put it in the soil. Unknown. So we'll back up to here. Get this thing full. I think we'll have to buy another bag of seed. There we go. So, yep, I'm running custom textures for the cockpit. I'm running custom instruments, and the fact that it happened, that crash happened when I turned the instrument lights on, I think may have been like an odd call or something. It was calling a file and getting an unexpected name, or the file that, because I modded the mod, so it's like the file that the mod was trying to load was incompatible with the mod itself due to recent updates. Who knows? But whatever the cause, it did crash, and that's always, I don't know, it's never fun to just leave a stream like that, abandon it. All right, so we'll hop back in. Wow, this thing is heavy with seed in it. All right, so we'll hop back in here, back to field 6. We'll get this going, then we'll hop in the JCB, come down and refill that, and figure out what we want to do with field 7. And what else? Yep, Cascadia. We're not going to see Iberia this year, which is fine. I'm so far from Iberia right now. We're up in, I just left St. Petersburg, and we're going to drive all the way down through the Baltics and down into Poland. And it's going to take probably, I don't know, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 hours of game time to get to Iberia. So it's not like we're right on the line or anything. And we can do a lot of stuff. We can go down into Turkey, go down into Italy. There's plenty of places we can explore between now and whenever Iberia gets here, and still not have the whole map discovered. So ETS and ATS, the base game maps, well, base game with DLC, the maps are getting really, really big. Even without pro mods, they're getting really big. Plenty of stuff to explore. So I don't mind the delay on Iberia at all. They did release an accessories pack for ATS. I don't know. I mean, it was $4. I want to support the devs, but it's kind of an odd pack. You know, I don't know. SCS seems to have a really good rapport with their fans and their players, and I don't know. It strikes me. Well, I think sometimes that most people that play ATS are in Europe. I don't know how many Americans play ATS, or ETS for that matter. I think it's primarily a European player base for both sims. And the cabin accessories, I don't know. They're not typically things that an American would have or recommend. So I think it's possible that SCS is getting feedback from Europeans, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the cabin accessories are not things that I would expect to see in an American truck. So I went ahead and got that anyway. I threw a few things in there. There's some cool stuff. You can throw a little cell phone on the dash. You can put a little air freshener on one of your vents. I've seen a couple people mention it, and on the newer trucks now, in fairness, on newer trucks, on the Streamliners in real life in the US, they very often don't have a lot of accessories on them because they are really aerodynamic and really slippery, and you don't necessarily want to schmutz them up. But they do have, like from the factory, they do have a lot of turn signals and like running lights and safety lights and things that just come on the truck as you buy it. And then American truckers do tend to add some LEDs and some, I don't know, just the things that truckers put on their truck. When you spend all that time in your truck, it's sort of like your home. You decorate your place. But on the older trucks, on old Kenworths and Peterbilts and Max, those trucks tend to be, because they're more like hot rods. Those trucks tend to be really over the top. And I've noticed that even on the in-game, on the base game 389, there really don't seem to be that you can't decorate those trucks the way that most American truckers would. So that could just be an EU versus US thing, because SCS is in, where are they? Prague, Czech Republic. Nothing really, Owen. It's more or less the same. The only thing they don't do a whole lot of here are light boxes. But as far as, yellow lights on the sides, down low, near the pavement, white lights on the front, red lights on the back, just sort of decorative. you know, spice it up a little bit. I think you see those on both EU and US trucks, but not in Truck Sim. It's mostly an EU thing, mostly an ETS thing, and not nearly as much on the ATS side. But for the older trucks, for the, is it the W900? Yeah, the Kenworth W900 and the 389, in real life, those trucks are, at night, they look like Christmas trees in the US. So surprising that that is not a thing. And then the new ones, the Streamliners, have a lot of embedded LEDs from the factory all around the trucks. Not a big deal either way. And I'm happy to support the devs. I mean, that little accessory pack that I got, I wouldn't say that it's disappointing, but it's like, yeah, it's really not, for me, there's really not a lot to it. But it's not a big deal. It was $4, and, you know, I definitely want to send all the support toward the devs that I can. It's been a tough year for everybody, and SCS is, I feel like they're a company that's doing it right. Even to release that statement that they did, you know, Iberia's going to be late. This is why. Thanks for understanding. I can think of several other companies that if they had that same policy about communication, it might really do a lot to sort of, you know what I mean, diffuse some of the hate. People get frustrated. They really, really do. All right, and I just noticed, I don't know how it happened, but I just noticed our half-row shutoff is toggled if I look in Proceed. So let's get that sorted out first. So we're going to set the brake, and we'll go here and right there. I don't know if you saw it, right side of the screen, down near the bottom where the cursor is right now. We had this bar right here was red, which I believe indicates the left side is cut off now. So if we want to do a half row, that's what we do. I don't know how that got selected, but anyway. All right, so we'll turn this off, and I'm just going to put this on a dumb worker for now. We are drilling wheat. It's still 2 below 0 air temperature, but 3 above soil temp. So I'm hoping this is going to be okay and we don't kill all of our seeds that we put in the ground. Whole field turns purple. You know how that goes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What was that? Yeah, when I'm done here, I'll stroll up to field 1 so you can see what I did. It's a little bit different than the Proceed from FS17, but it does work with, because there was it Upside Down made GPS for FS17, and Proceed would integrate with that, but I don't think GPS proper by Upside Down made it to 19. So instead we're using Field Guidance by Wobster, and I think Wobster got permission to mod Proceed, because now Proceed works with Field Guidance. I don't know. I don't know. I know like maybe a third of what I'm talking about. Sometimes less. So it works a little bit differently than Proceed for 17, but mostly the same. Close enough. All right, and then we do have these realism mods running, and they are beating us up a little bit. Okay, can we make it all the way to the edge of the field? I think more or less. Proceed is off. Wheat. Speed is correct. All right, let's see how this works out. Here we go. You know, I put one on here. I put one on here when I bought the tractor, but I don't know if that changes the mass or if that's strictly like a cosmetic item. It is definitely light in the front. And there's a difference between when you have seed in it and when you do not. It's a little bit lighter without seed. I mean, it's still heavy. It still eats up that tractor. But it's the front wheels dig in a little bit better when it's empty. But when it's full of seed, problematic. So we'll go up to field 1 and I'll show you what I did with Proceed. Now I guess we'll split the difference, because I know you could do this with, where's our driveway? I know you could do this with ridge markers. Where's our, what? I've missed it twice now. I know a skilled farmer, a skilled pilot could do this with, where the hell is the driveway? There it is. I know a skilled pilot could do it with... Ride wife, life good? Jenner, what's happening? HM Agra, how you doing? What was I talking about? What was I upset about? Oh, ridge markers. I know you could do this with ridge markers. And I know like modern GPS software can lay all this out, right? But we're sort of in the middle with FS19. Like we've got GPS, but it doesn't calculate like the edges of the fields and, you know, the length of the booms and various other things. So what I did was I spaced these out for 24 meters on the sprayer, right? And we just kind of got lucky because this last one down here is just about 3.5 widths from the edge of the field. So everything will clear. And then I put these in manually. They're sort of ugly, but what don't YouTube that. Don't YouTube what? I'll YouTube almost everything. Almost everything. I put this one in manually, so, right, like we would drive in here and we'd be able to get to these, right? Because if we want to go back and forth across the field, we need to be able to get to these. So I put these tram lines in manually, but I don't know if this is like 100% accurate. You know? I mean, once it grows in a little bit, it'll look all right. Yeah, now there's a way, we'll hop into JCB and I'll show you a couple things. But it's like if you're on full auto, that slaves it to field guidance. And again, I sort of know what I'm talking about. So if I'm wrong, do let me know. When you're on full auto, it slaves it to field guidance, and you can see your tram line count sort of keeping pace with your field guidance lane count. If you go on semi-auto, it's every time the tool lifts. And if you go on manual, you have to click it yourself. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really good workaround, Owen, because you have like total control over it, and you can also get the turns in. Because hang on, I'll be right back here. Because the thing that I notice, like when I look at real farming videos, is they have those very, like at the end of a row, they have those very elegant turns, like 90 degrees when they come off of the length and go into the perpendicular pass to get to the next length. It's always this very smooth, rounded turn, and then they go on to the next one. And they also don't have anything in the middle. So like, as an example, we would go up here, and this part right here wouldn't need to be here because we'd come in, right, and then immediately turn and go down this length. Then we get down to the other end, right? We would turn 90 degrees to the left and come up and then turn 90 degrees to the left again. So we'd have a zigzag up the field, right? Rather than these continuous passes on the end. So I sort of fudged it a little bit, you know, kind of, yeah, just making it work. But I don't know. I mean, so when I look at courseplay, I wonder why courseplay doesn't have a function where we can just use it sort of as a calculator. I mean, I guess you could. You could use courseplay to generate a course and then not put it on autopilot. Just drive that course yourself. But I would like to use courseplay sometimes to manually calculate like how many headlands, and then the next row inside from the headland is a tramline row, right? Headlands is for noobs. You know, on a German map, I agree with you. But on, let me find a little hedge, right? On a UK style map, for me, this is not necessarily enough area to work in. I find that, you know, if I want to make my turns in an area this small, I end up driving on the field. And I know there's no compaction in FS19, but I feel like in my heart, I know I'm compacting the field, even if I'm not. So I do my best to stay off the field, but I just can't turn around here. There's just not enough room. Who knows what Farm Sim is going to look like in 5 years? Who knows if it's even going to be around? Not the Farm Sim franchise, but I mean, whoa. Where's the trigger for the edge of the tractor? Where's the collision box? Because I'm coming over here to get in, and then suddenly it's like, yikes. Yeah. All right, so let's hop in. It's so Friday for me. It is such a Friday. It really, really is. All right, let's back it out. And there's a gate behind us somewhere. Yeah. Drive over this little bush. Ride tractor, life good? I mean, I can't disagree. I love driving tractors. I've never driven a tractor in real life, but I love driving tractors in sim. So we'll go get this filled up. Should we? We're half full. Yeah, you know what? We will, because there's half a bag down there. There's half a bag of seed down there. And if we go put that in the drill, we definitely won't run out. I don't think we'll run out even if we just use what we've got in the tank right now. But if we bring the rest of that up, we won't run out. And then when we unload this at the farm, we'll have all of our seed at the farm. And we won't have any sitting in the parking lot down at the store. And that triggers my OCD. When I leave things in the parking lot at the store, I always feel terrible about that. Carefully right through here. Oh! And this is same as the T-Dove, really light on the front wheels, and we do have a pretty big front weight on this. No worries, Jenner. It's Friday. That's what Fridays are for. And it's 2020, and 2020, it's just been a silly year. It's a ridiculous year. I want a do-over for this entire year. So you be as silly as you want. I mean, within reason. And what else is going on? Iberia. There's a Loco DLC for Train Sim World. There is, yeah, I think that's about it. I'm just waiting on MXGP 20. 2020 refund. I like that. I agree. And, I've been playing... So, there's a game called Hunter Call of the Wild. I got it a while back. I played it a couple times. It just wasn't clicking for me. It's got a really weird lore, too. Because I started on a... it wasn't the Rocky Mountains. I started in, like, the Yukon? I don't know. It's got really weird lore. There's, like, government conspiracies, and Uncle Pete's nephew Jamie's he's an idiot. I think he was selling drugs. It's just really, like, a really bizarre storyline for a hunting sim. I don't know why a hunting sim needs a storyline at all. But at one point, in the lore, this narrator is telling you that Uncle Pete's idiot nephew or something was poaching on the reserve, and that's like a terrible thing to do. So, as always with a sim game, it's not a sim game, it's just a game. As always with a sim game, I'm trying to play it realistically, right? So I spawn in and there's animals everywhere, and of course you have a rifle when you spawn in, and I'm waiting to find out like what I have tags for and what's in season. And the lore, right? In the lore, this guy's telling me about poaching, so I thought there was poaching. There's no poaching. You just blast away. You shoot anything that moves. So I was playing it like a sim and letting all these like animals walk past me and not hunting them because I didn't think I was allowed to yet. So, yeah. Anyway, why is this not, why are we not triggering? Oh, it's, okay. I didn't see the cover up and I couldn't see it from inside. Galaxy Burns. That's a hell of a screen name. I like it. How you doing? So we'll go back in here. We'll get turned around. So, Hunter Call of the Wild, like all the DLC was on sale for Black Friday. So I got all the DLC, all of it. And I started playing it again. It wasn't making any sense, so I found some YouTube videos. And I learned how to play. For one thing, yes, you can hunt anything, anytime you want. I don't know what's going on with the story. I'm just kind of ignoring it. But you can hunt anything, anytime you want. And I also learned the difference between animals because they're... So obviously you want like big trophy male animals. But there's a difference between them. There's silver, gold, diamond. right? And you also get points based on how well you hunt. So using the appropriate ammunition and getting clean kills and quick kills. You know, no, I'm not a farmer in real life. I'm as far from a farmer as a person could possibly be, but I do love it in sim. So how you hunt determines your score as well, and then there are also all these things you can discover because the maps are massive. They're really, really big. So I got a quad, and I was like zooming all over the map on this quad. You got to walk. You got to walk around, and when you do, you discover all these zones, right? Like where animals drink, where they eat, where they sleep, where they rest. And once you start getting all those things discovered on the map, then you can go to specific places at specific times, and you know animals will be there. So if you know Rocky Mountain elk drink at a certain place between 5 and 7 a.m., you go there, right? And you get up in your tree stand between 5 and 7, and here come these monster Rocky Mountain elk. So once I started doing it that way, it's a lot more fun. And you can shoot anything. You can hunt any animal. But if you're more discerning and you only hunt the best animals, you get the highest score. So I've been really enjoying that. And the maps are beautiful, and it's a gorgeous game. It really is. And I think there's like 10 areas now, 9 areas. There's 3 in North America. There's South America. There's Africa. And there are, I'd say, a half dozen in Europe. So it's a really pretty game. Really, really relaxing. And also, it's like hunting. I haven't hunted in years in real life, but it's like hunting because there's very often you're just kind of sitting there and listening. So it was the first time I played it was probably a year ago, and I didn't think it was very, I mean, I know it wasn't realistic, but I just didn't get it. But I seem to be getting it now, and it's a lot of fun. So I've been playing that, and yep, got the Cascadia skinned. I think that's it. So, yep, we will try to get field 7 knocked out today. And I went and looked in the yard. We didn't have a wool pallet spawn yesterday, but we do have one today. It's only about a quarter full, but I think we're already making, if we needed to, we're already making a little bit of money from wool. But we've still got 56 grand. We own both our tractors. We bought our animals. We own all of our land that we can buy for the time being. So I think we're good for the moment. We don't need to spend any more money. I say that. We'll see how it goes. Because I always say that. And then what else can we do? I mean, I guess we can spread fert today. After cattle and crops, I feel like, because we just planted field 3-7. We just planted that yesterday. So it's really not ready for fertilizer yet, but in FS19 it is, because anything, anytime you make the field different, whether you plow it, whether you cultivate it, seed it, whatever, as long as the state of the field evolves. Is it up here? No. As long as the state of the field evolves, you can then do the next thing to it. So field 3-7 has been planted and can now take more fertilizer. So we could do that. Might not be super realistic, but we could do that. All right. What do we want to do here? I don't think we can put this on course play. I don't think course play integrates with Proceed, but I think we can put it on a basic worker. Let's try that. And then we'll observe. Because the thing about course play is, if we were to put Proceed on semi-auto, it goes to the next row in its cycle every time the tool lifts and lowers. But occasionally course play will, I don't know, it'll do some funny stuff where it like just does a tiny little row. But to Proceed, that would count as a row, so it would throw the count off. Whereas Dumb Worker they just do straight rows. All right, Jenner, thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. See you next time. I think Dumb Worker may be the way to go for this. And then I will put in the connecting rows. I'll put those in manually. Yeah, I think that'll work. I hope. And then what? I guess we'll have to go rent a tractor and get some FERT going. Why not, right? It's not the most realistic thing, but it's not unrealistic. Terribly. All right, and we do have, yep, we got a nice 90-degree row here. Perfect. So let's get backed up. Right about there. Sure. And then like so. Confirm that we are on canola. We're gonna do another canola field. This feels pretty flat. Let's put wheat in here instead. Let's put wheat in here instead because it is flat. It's going to be a little bit better for baling. All right, so that's good. That's good. Let's confirm this. Swap this over, right, like so, and then we need to go to proceed. We want it on auto. We are going to turn that on. This is 24 meters, 3 meters, 1 of 8. All right. You know what? If it all goes south, we'll fix it later. All right, here we go. All right. Here we go. We are going to have to watch this cycle 4 times, 5 times to confirm that we're getting a tramline row, but then we can dip down to the store. We'll lease a little tractor and get some FERT going. And now I'm curious what we're going to do when we get down here. We can let that work for a minute up top. Because down here with this angle, the hired worker sort of gave up like right in here somewhere when it got to this angle, because it was going back and forth like this, right, on this length here. And then when it got to this angled edge of the field, it quit. So when we use field guidance, we select a certain width for the tool, but I want to say like the hired workers sometimes select a slightly different width. So it's not always your rows, your field guidance rows and your worker rows are not always the same width. So it may not be lined up exactly by the time we get down there. I think it'll be pretty close. I think it'll be okay, but if we have to take over, our last few lengths may be slightly different width than what the worker puts in. And I know in the other fields, the worker sort of went through the hedge. Not very immersive, but it did get them all the way to the edge of the field, which is nice. The hired workers, I haven't played this game in a year, and the hired workers, base game workers, do seem a bit smarter. They really do. So if that's something that Giants was able to figure out, good on them, sir. Yeah. Not super immersive, but I'll take it. All right, and while that's going on, and we're third person, I'm going to have a sip of water. It's easier for me to do that when I'm not in cab, because then the camera doesn't bounce all over. A moment, please. Perfect. All right, so this is 2 that they're on right now. We're already getting weeds. We could do that too. We could preemptively spray for weeds. Now, I don't know how realistic that is as well. Do you need to wait for weeds to grow before you can spray for them, or can you spray, I don't know, can you prevent them? Or do you have to eliminate them once you get them? I mean, in real life. I know in-game. Now I don't know. I forgot. Can you spray before you get weeds and it keeps them from growing, or do you have to wait till they grow? Unknown. All right. Well, we can do that as well. And I mean, I guess we could always do it twice, right? We can spray field 1 today, and if we have to, we can spray it again if weeds grow. Something. I'm really liking the small equipment for the Alpine Farming DLC. What's it called? Mountain farming? Oh. And it's crazy because it looks so small, right? This looks really small compared to some of the big equipment available in game, but it's still really big because the JCB is not a small tractor. And that thing is, it sort of looks at home on it. But the little coon that we have on the T-Dub, It's one of the smallest drills you can get, and it's just dwarfing that T-dub. All right, this is 3. Follow along here. I wouldn't say that I've missed 19, but I think I did miss the Farm Sim franchise in general. And I really do like Cattle and Crops. I have to stress that. But it's an entirely different kind of buzz playing that game. The Ford of Fords, I really like the T-dub. I really do. I like the county as well, and we have a county. Do we? Yeah, I think we have a county available. Moment, please. That would be medium or small? Let's take a look at both. I think we have a county. Maybe. It's not small, is it? Interesting. But I haven't used it yet, and I don't know what to expect. You know, you never know with mods. That looks, that is perhaps not the most accurate county. But, you know, you do what you can. I don't know, maybe we'll try one of these later. Twin wheels, wheel weights. I was thinking maybe we could get this going with row crop tires, test it out a little bit. I don't know. This looks like this looks like a hybrid of some other mods. But you know what? I can't make mods like that at all. I can add accessories. I can make skins, that sort of thing. But you know, other than that, anything above that is beyond my pay grade. So I have tremendous respect for modders. And Blender, I've played around in Blender a few times, and it is, personally, I think it's voodoo. It's witchcraft. I don't know what is going on with Blender, but I've never been able to sort it out. So, Agrilad, how you doing? Tremendous love and respect to the mod community. And at the same time, they're not all gold. Not every mod is fantastic. So it goes. All right, next row is going to be, in theory, next row is our row crop row. If it is, then we will dip down to the store. We'll lease something with row crop tires, and let's do herbicide in field 1 because we know that's triple fertilized, is it not? Right here. Yeah, field 1 has triple fert, so doesn't need any more. And then field 3-7 already has some weeds, so we'll spray for weeds in field 1 and field 3-7, and then we can do fert in field 3-7, field 2, and field 6. Is our worker stopped? Son of a! Do I know Sands? Is that a person? Is that, or are you even asking me, or are you asking somebody else? All right, through the hedge. Skeleton. I don't know. Jaden, if you're talking to me, you lost me. I'm not entirely clear on what you're talking about. And no, we do not have row crop. So let's hop in here and take a look at Proceed and see if it's counting. It's not even on. Yeah, Proceed's not even on. Okay, so we'll put our rows in manually another time. And I believe we can do that with field guidance as well. Okay, not a big deal. So ideally then the worker will do this entire field with wheat. I'll come back in off camera and throw in some tram lines. I like the way they look. I really, really do. And we got to figure out what's going on with our Ford, get them back to work, and then we'll go spray some weeds. What happened to the... Really? just the one row then. Lazy lima bean. Look at this. One row. One single row, and they quit. Ah. All right. So hop back in here. Hop back in here. Are they caught? No, not caught, but wow, this, yeah. We do need a front weight. I don't know if the front weight that is on here is, I don't know if it adds weight or if it is just decorative, but we got some problems. Struggle bus. All right. So let's try to get on a good 90-degree course here. Right about like so. Put this back on a worker. Come on now. And now they're not working at all. What's all right. Moment. What's going on here? Okay, dumb worker. Lengths. Do they need to be lined up better? Oh, you know why? Maybe? I don't know. Because this thing has a power harrow up front and this field is already cultivated? Is it seeing it as already cultivated and not wanting to work? Right? The power harrow is in front of the drill. Oh, maybe. Let's try it again. Yeah. All right. So that's not happening. Course play? All right. It's a little disappointing. But we can put it on course play and hopefully that works a little bit better. Yeah, it may be because it's not really a direct drill. It's sort of two implements combined. But you know what I mean. It serves the same purpose, so perhaps the AI is seeing this field as already cultivated and not letting the first tool work, and if it did, then the second tool would put the seeds in. I don't know. No, that's not the case because we've got a hired worker doing exactly the same thing in that other field. I'm so confused right now. Maybe it just wants to go the other way. Oh, all right. I'm trying one more time. If it doesn't, we'll put it on course play. All right. And yeah, that's because it did the first row, right? Let's see if this works any better. No, I'm perplexed. I'm baffled. All right. Well. Can't paste the link. It's not saying you tried to paste the link. I mean, if it's nothing awful, I'll approve it. Just throw it in there and I'll approve it. So I'm going to go right here. And this is field 6. Let's see if this works. All right. Course play. So that's right here. We want to do fertilizing and seeding. Course generation. We are in field 6. Field 6, right? Headland, yeah, let's go 2. Let's go 3. Start working on the down rows and corners, bypass islands, auto width, generate course. Beautiful. All right, and where do it start? Looks like, of course, the opposite side of the field. All right, here we go. All right. Yep, no worries, Jaden. And how's our other... yeah, I'm really curious about this. Our other worker is still doing okay, but this one is not. No, that doesn't make sense either, because this other field up above here, field 2, we did this one with this same same rig, same realism settings, and they were able to get field 2 done. I don't know, but it's not. It does not want to work on a hired worker unless. Before we try this, let's take a look here because it's possible. What is it? Control I? No, it's not Control I. How do I bring up my information panel to see how many workers I have? Where is that now? Let's get this loaded back up. It's not that. Because am I even running? Yeah. Am I even running, what is it, the advanced game mod? So we go here. Is it here? Where would I see how many workers I can have? And is that a problem? 5x. Help icons. Yeah, I don't know if that's got anything to do with it or not. But I feel like we've had 2 workers working at the same time before, and now it doesn't want to happen. All right, so we'll try this. If this doesn't work, I don't know. We'll come up with another plan. All right. So then we want to go start from first waypoint. Stop when you're done. Don't return to the first point. Of course. And starting circle working with refill unit. Speed limits. Yeah. Slow that down a little bit. That's all good. Get rid of that. Okay. Seems to be working. All right, Owen. Thanks for stopping by, brother. I appreciate you. All right, so it's not the workers. We can have 2 workers on at the same time. I don't know why that was not wanting to work on a basic hired worker. I don't know if it had anything to do with horsepower. But everything seemed to be working well last session, but this time it's not. And this worker is still working away. All right. I don't feel like running all the way down to the store. Let's go ahead and teleport. I've been doing, I don't know, maybe more of that than I should, but I just don't feel like driving all the way down there. All right, so we can go with, we'll go with crop protection. Let's see what kind of horsepower we need. We go with this thing. That is 24 meters. That's the one we're interested in. So we want to lease this. No horsepower requirement to speak of. Yes. And then we can go with a small tractor with row crop tires. And let's do something interesting. Something we haven't used yet. That's interesting. Can't get it with the narrow tires, but that's definitely interesting. First time I've seen that. What about this thing? We used this the other day. Same. Or do we need to... Does the brand matter? I don't think it does. Okay. Paste the link in the last live stream. Check the comments. You got it. I will do that, my friend. What about this thing? Nope. Come on now. There's got to be one tractor from one of these DLC that will take row crop tires. No. Huh. All right. I am enjoying looking at these tractors. Now this one, certainly. There we go. All right. And we do want, we'll go Agri-Bumper. I'm a big fan of the Agri-Bumper. And we will go with GPS. Don't need a front loader. And we can go with a little motor. So we'll lease that. Oh, $5,000. Okay. So we'll lease that. Alexander, what's happening? How you doing? We will lease that. And we'll go, I will tab into it. So we're down here now. Where is this thing? There it is. All right, let's get hooked up. I'm fantastic. I'm having a great Friday. and I'm looking forward to a great weekend. The Steelers finally played on Wednesday, of all days. Typical day for an NFL game. They played on Wednesday, and they won, so they're 11-0. Very happy about that. So yeah, I'm having a fantastic week. And we want to go here now. Nope, we want to go here now. Fat finger here to IBC, and we want herbicide. And I think we can just go with one of these for now. I don't even know if we'll use a whole one. All right. I think we can just refill right from here. Yes, we can. I was using the hose system when we were on... I can't remember. It was an Oxygen David map, but we were using the hose system. Because I guess it extends out beyond just... manure and not manure, slurry. It extends out beyond slurry. You can use it for herbicide and other liquids. And I feel like it wasn't quite there yet. Do I have a combine? At the moment, no, I do not have a combine. We're most likely going to rent. We're only on day 2. So we will most likely lease a combine for our first couple seasons. We've got 2 tractors. We've got 30 merino sheep. And we've got about a half dozen fields. All right, making our big turn here. Beautiful. Like and so. Oh, Alexander. Here's my thing on my channel from day one. I've never asked for a sub, I've never asked for a like, and I've never asked for a share. I make it a policy not to do that. You're all adults. If you like it, you know what to do, but I don't remind people to sub or like. It drives me crazy when people do that in streams and videos. Let me make up my own mind how I feel about your content, and I want to extend the same courtesy to you. So I appreciate you, but I don't do that on this channel. Oh, it's nothing to be sorry about. Yeah, it's not how it's done. in YouTube world, you're supposed to do that, and it does work. But I've made a very conscious choice not to do that because I want the content to be about the content. I don't want it to be about growing the channel. You know, I think it's too easy to fall into that trap where a big part of your video becomes telling people to like the video, and I do everything I can to avoid that. But no, it's nothing to be sorry for. Not a big deal. I'm really liking these realism mods. I'm glad I got that tip, and I had one of the... Are they the real dirt mods? I had one. I forgot that there were 3, but I got the other 2 going, and then I got the realistic steering. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I figure if I make good vids, if I make good content, do good streams, you know what to do. You know, it'll just happen automatically. It's nothing I need to remind people to do. But those realism mods, I can feel a difference like climbing some of these hills. Because we've got, I mean, 2,000 liters, that's, what, 2 tons? If it's liquid, that's 2 tons. So we've got 2 tons on the back and a weight on the front. That's not nothing. I know tractors are geared pretty low, but climbing these hills, you can definitely feel the power have to really pick up. And that is, it's not something that I've noticed in base game, so I'm glad that I got those realism mods. I don't think it's quite up to the same level as more realistic in 17, but I don't know that anything ever will be. I think when it comes to mods, 17 that's going to have to be my sort of my high watermark for mods. And I mean, there are good mods for 19, but I feel like 17 that's the gold standard. All right, we'll do this one while we're passing it because we already saw some weeds up top, did we not? I believe we did. Now, I did not... There is a smart sprayer pack, and I did not download it yet, but I believe there is a sprayer pack you can get that has, we want right like that, that has half row cutoff. I don't think any of these allow you to fold the booms selectively. I think once you open this thing, it's open. Give me your personal view on the game, because I'm thinking of getting it. I mean, I started playing Farm Sim in 15. I only played it for a couple months before 17 dropped, and I was just absolutely, like, I just fell in love with it the first time I played it. It's really, really good. Let me remember how to unfold this thing. Is it like so? Is it like so? There we go. It's there's just something really kind of hypnotic about it. It's a really, really chill game, and there's tons and tons of equipment in base game. If you don't even get into mods, there's tons of equipment in base game. It's really well done. Now, there was a difference for me between 17 and 19. I feel like 19 moved a little bit more toward the casual player, but depending on how you play, that could be exactly what you want. And sort of as a counterpoint to, is this on? Here we go. As sort of a counterpoint to the Farm Sim franchise, if you... Yeah, so many mods for this game. Headland mode, I'm going to leave this for now. I think this is just about right. And then we need to go here. Set A. All right, like that. Set A, 0, set cardinal. And are we good? No, we need to rotate that 90 degrees. I don't know why that's... keeps doing that. So we want to go here, set A. Is that right? Nope. Did it again. Hang on. Set A plus heading. Set A plus heading. So then would it be 90? No. Or do we need to rotate? Bob it, please. I'll figure this out. All right. There we go. And then we need to set the width again. So come back here. Auto width. There we are. That works. So as a counterpoint to Farm Sim, there is Cattle and Crops, which is, I don't know, it's a lot more about sort of the mechanics of farming. We need a little speed here, brother. Come on now. That is interesting. We may have to come at this from the top. That's cruise control at 6 miles per hour. There we go. Maybe? Is it dragging? What's going on? So if you want, like, I don't know, I guess a more serious farm sim, I would say think about Cattle and Crops. But it's really, it's not quite done yet. I don't know what is going on, by the way, with our speed. It's like it's not quite done yet, is the best way that I can describe it. It feels like early access. Whereas this game, it's less detailed, but in some ways it's a lot more fun. You know, it's a lot more enjoyable to play. There's a lot more equipment. There are a lot more base game maps, and that's without the mods. And then once you add the mods in, you can make it more realistic. And there are just so many different places you can play. Yeah, we're gonna need. This is gonna be the last row we do this way, and I'm debating. Yeah, we gotta go to Plan B. This field is not that steep, but we're making like zero headway. I'm not sure why we're having so much trouble right now, because you would think that we would have enough horsepower to just simply drive up the field, but even that is giving us the problems. So yeah, between the mods and the maps and the way the game looks, it's a super, super fun game to play. And I've put hundreds and hundreds of hours into it. If you're looking for a more serious farm sim experience, I would say Cattle and Crops, or get them both, which is what I think a lot of people have done. Yeah, we're going to have to figure something out here. And we want... You see, if we hop out here, No, it's not that. We need the realistic steering menu. Because this is not, yeah, this ain't right. And mostly what I want to do is just get to the top of the field so we can come downhill and have a little bit more speed, but it's taking us so long to get to the top of the field. Is something dragging? I don't know, man. Unless this is, oh, you know what? One of the realism mods that I downloaded did say that it assigns different traction profiles to the different types of tires. So it could be that the row crop tires just have zero grip. All right, let's take a look down here and see if we can find a way to open that menu and take a look and see if we can temporarily disable that. So it's not the auto loader. It's not that. Alternative AI, it's not that. It's not course play. Course play, it's not that. It's not follow me. Guidance steering, it's not that. Inflate, deflate. Toggle section control. No, I don't think it's that. That's proceed, tip side, vehicle control. So would it be SH, steering helper? Scroll back up here. No, I don't think it's that. You know, I honestly don't know. I would think that 90 horsepower in a tractor would be enough to get up the field, but it could be because we're rocking row crop tires. So this is not working. So let's fold this thing, see if that makes any difference, and let's get over on the grass and see if that makes any difference. Yeah, as soon as we get a little bit of side hill, we immediately pick up the pace. So I think it's just getting these row crop tires up the field. Okay, this is going to be a little bit tedious because we're going to have to do all of our lengths downhill, then drive to the headland, drive to the grass verge, and head back up. But, oh well. Even this is a little, you know what I'm saying? Even over in the grass, this is a little bit rough. This is, I think, I wouldn't even call it a complaint, but this is something that can be a little bit, something when it comes to realism mods. Is I think a lot of different people have different ideas about what realism is. And then a map maker may or may not have considered what realism mods you'll be running when they built their map. So I know for the Western Shore, I was using more realistic. And I found a thread and people straight up said, like, you got to go into more realistic and edit the grip values because you'll never be able to get anywhere. You'll be using 500 horsepower tractors on a small UK map. Completely inappropriate, but if you don't do that, there's no way to move even the smallest implements. You won't be able to get up any hills at all. So Western Shore is a very hilly map and more realistic. I know I've said this before in videos. I don't know if I've ever said it in a live stream, but I've seen a thread and the developer of the more realistic mod says, if you think you can pull 100 elephants with a lawn tractor, you know, that's not how tractors work in real life. And something about that quote just makes me think this is a person who really likes the idea of tractors going slow. So there is absolute realism in gaming, but there is also the fact that we are playing a game, you know? And I don't know that things can ever be 100% realistic. And so sometimes when we try to make things realistic or too realistic, you know what I mean? It doesn't work out. We need to fudge a little bit. So, yeah. Sometimes realism mods. How long were you gone? I don't know. How long were you gone? All right. See if we do any better downhill. Perfect. That's what we wanted. Now you can see this stripy pattern. And we didn't kill those weeds. What? All right. Those are supposed to turn black, are they not? We've got herbicide in the... I don't know what is happening right now. It's a Friday. I don't know what's going on. We just sprayed weeds with herbicide, and they didn't die. They're supposed to die immediately, are they not? Or is it different in seasons now, and they take time? Because it used to be as soon as you sprayed them, they turn black. All right. I don't know. We'll figure it out. This whole field, all of field 3-7 is wonky because it does have these stripes in it. I don't know. I'm just going with it. All right, so we'll get to the bottom here. Same thing. We'll fold everything up, drive back up top. We'll just figure it out. So we're going to fold that. While that's folding, we'll drive back up. And I know also when you're making a mod, particularly like a mod that sort of fundamentally changes the game, there's really no way to anticipate what other mods a person is going to be using. So I think most mod makers, when they make a big comprehensive mod, they only test it in vanilla game. And really that's all they should test it in. Because if you went down the road of, how does my mod work with other big mods, I think you would just be making tremendous headache for yourself. Because who knows what combination of mods a person is going to be running. And if you run a lot of mods, you might be the kind of person that modifies your mods, right? So I think most modders, they just make it work in base game. And then as you combine mods in your own personal gameplay, you're on your own. If you get into a conflict, or if you have something that's causing a game crash, or if something just doesn't work well on a certain map or with a certain piece of equipment, that's not really on the modder, because they didn't necessarily build that mod to work on every possible map. They just built it to work on the base game map. So I think that's reasonable, and it's on us as players. If we do want to run mods, that's on us to make them work. In a perfect world, I think you could test for compatibility more easily and just know what was going to be okay and what wasn't. But it's not a perfect world, so we'll just figure it out. And now field 1, when we go over there to spray for weeds, we will be going side hills, so hopefully we won't be dealing with this. But this is tedious, man. And I do think it's because we're running these row crop tires and they have no grip. All right. So this is row number 2. Yeah, you seeing that? Now, check this out. The weeds are only in... What in the world? The weeds are only in the places that got sprayed? I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know what's going on with field 3-7. Do I know Beat Saber? I do not. All right, so we're going to go right here. Unfold this. Oh, and I just realized we've already used a quarter of our herbicide. This is not going well. And I don't even know if we're doing anything in this field. I really don't. VR game? Nope, never tried it. I don't have a VR headset at the moment. Thinking about one. Been thinking about one for a long time. But I haven't bought one yet. Yeah, I feel like field 3-7 is broken, because if you look up ahead of us, out beyond the draw distance, you can see those green lines. I have no idea what those green lines are. We plowed the field. No, we did not. We hit it with a cultivator, but we didn't hit it with a subsoiler. So I don't know what's going on with this field. Hopefully we have a good yield from it. But honestly, I don't know what its problem is with those stripes. But field 1 is okay, so we'll go do that one next. And, oh, you know what? And I just remembered to check on courseplay. Yep, courseplay is still doing okay in field 6, and our hired worker is still doing okay in field 7. All right. And I saw, when I was looking in key bindings, I did see a menu for section control, but I don't know if that is, I don't know why that's in there, because I don't think we're running the sprayer add-on pack at the moment. So I don't know that we have section control. And I'm going to try, just to switch things up a little bit, I'm going to try going up the other side, see if we get any better grip over there. Park that right there. Close this gate right here. And then right back in here. All right. Yeah, the row crop tire grip seems a bit over the top. Now, it's possible, right? Because it does say that so there's 4 tires. There are, there's what? There are field tires, there are road tires, there are row crop tires, and there are pickup tires, right? Like car tires, car and truck tires. But then it also does something with, so there's different grip levels for different types of soil. So there's a planted field, there's a cultivated field, etc. Could be that we're having all this, that we're slipping around because this field hasn't started to grow yet, and we're running row crop tires in it. I don't know at the moment, but I can say, just off the top of my head, I would say that the grip level we're getting from these tires is a little bit OP. So we'll figure it out. I could have sworn there was a menu for, is it seasons? I could have sworn there was a menu to open the guidance steering, not guidance steering, the steering helper. I could have sworn I saw a way to open the guidance steering menu and maybe adjust some of these things. So we'll take another look for that. But in the meantime, we just need to, I think, grit our teeth and get through this field. And that's an interesting texture right there. And that's not, yeah, that's not the edge of the map. There's like another field on the other side of that. That's a little different. All right. You know what? I don't really, if I play a map and I don't like it, I just don't play it and don't talk about it. I try to always be positive on the channel. But when I see something like that, I mean, this is it's a good map. And it's a big map, and somebody's put a lot of time and effort into it, and they obviously know what they're doing. So if for some reason they decided to do that, I'm just going to assume they have a good reason why. You know, I can't imagine why they would do that, but for one reason or another, clip through the texture there. For one reason or another, they decided that was what they needed to do. That's perfect. Works for me. Who knows why? All right, so we'll get this unfolded. And we're down to, I think we'll have enough. I think we'll have enough in the tank to finish this field, but we will have to go down and refill. And I'm feeling like this is a test field, you know? I don't know what's going on with it. All right, spray's on. Cruise control, here we go. Yeah, downhill we're okay. I feel like we just don't, either we don't have enough torque or we don't have enough grip. But whatever the problem is, it is an absolute struggle to get to the top of that field. And I think we've got 2 rows, maybe 1.5. So we'll experiment a little bit, go back and look in key bindings and see if we can find boom control and see if we can fold one of these in. I know in real life you can. I don't know if you can in base game, because we've got base game sprayers. I don't think I have a sprayer mod on at the moment. Yeah, I don't think I do. I had, when I looked in my backup folder, I had about 400 mods in there. I think I brought maybe 70 or 80 of them over. I deleted quite a few. Just things that I don't know, should have deleted sooner. I don't always maintain my mod folder as well as I can, keep it as clean as I can. I mean, this thing is 75 feet wide. That might be, that might just be one more length. It looks like 2 until you unfold this thing, and it's so big. How close in are we here? Yeah, just about perfect. That's not worth doing anything. This is a little strip down here. I'm just going to leave that. I'm not going to try to do a... It's not even a half row. It's like a quarter of a row. So we'll just leave that. Okay. So one more pass. We'll go refill. Come back and do field 1, and then we'll see how our hired workers are doing. And I'm guessing when they're done, we can return those tools. We can go down to the farm and unload the seed, and then we can return those tools. Now, we do have a little bit of seed in a pallet down at the store. Is it worth driving all the way down there? Yeah, because we would have to... Whoa! We would have to drive down there, put it in the drill, drive back to the farm and unload it so we had all the pallets at the farm, and then drive back to the store to return it. Well, no, we don't have to do that. We could return it. You know what I mean? We could just return it and make it disappear. We don't have to drive to the store. It would be more realistic to do it that way. We don't have to. All right. This is... Ugh. It's not going the way I thought it would, but it's going. These fields look, I'd say mostly square, but then they get a little bit of taper here and there. There's this half row over here. It's a little wider at the top than at the bottom. All right. So right in here. Unfold that. All right. Back on guidance steering. Spray on. Here we go. And we will, when I get down to the bottom of the field, I do want to take a look and see if we can fold one of these booms in. Honestly, I don't know. I know I've seen with mods where you can fold the tips in, or you can fold one whole side in. So you can either go half width and keep everything in the center, or you can go half width on one side, or you can go a quarter width on one side. But I don't think we need to mess with that, because this whole field is, I don't know, it's very suspect at the moment. This stripe pattern, I'm baffled by that. And that we sprayed those weeds and they didn't die. It's a mystery. All right, so we'll go right about there. Stop the spray. And let's take a look here. That's to raise and lower, right? And then if we go here, turn on sprayer, full sprayer, BCA settings. Let's take a look back in the menu, because I swear I saw somewhere in there. Toggle pipe. Grid snapping. Let's see. This is so much better than in 17. I mean, I know this looks bad, but key bindings in 17 was madness. Raise, increase axis distance. Yeah, it would be nice if we had like increase axis distance. Oh, what do you mean by that? What mod is that for? Autoloader, yeah, not there, not there. Collect bales. I don't know what SH is. Alternative AI. Animals Keeper. Courseplay editor. Follow me. Guidance steering. Inflate, deflate. Update. Toggle section control. I'm going to try N. I don't know that we have the right... mod running. Yeah, this just raises and lowers it. Okay, I think that may be, I don't know, like a legacy key binding from a mod that we don't currently have running. All right. Well, that was easy. And we used, for this whole field, we used half a tank. So I think if we go down and put the rest of that tank in, that will be enough to finish field 1. No problem. We'll take the rest down to the farm and drop it there. All right. So hop out here. Gate open. We'll drive down to refill. And our workers, is everybody still working? Yep. Our worker in field 7 is still working. That's the one I'm worried about. Courseplay will go till the end, but our hired worker, if they, I don't know, if they get unhappy, they'll stop. And I think, no, we'll come back in here one more time because we still need to fertilize. Might not do it this stream, but we still need to fertilize field 3-7. Get a second layer on there. All right, back to the store. And I'm curious, because if we have tram lines, right? Do we need row crop tires? I'm pretty sure that's the way it works in real life, is that you run your row crop tires down your tram lines. Whereas in this sim, row crop tires don't cause any damage and you can drive them wherever, even if you have crop destruction on. So it's like you don't need tram lines, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, like real farm videos that I've seen when they're driving the big self-propelled sprayers, they're on row crop tires, but then they're driving those down very narrow tram lines as well. Yeah, because you'd want those to be as narrow as possible. You'd want them to be the width of a row crop tire versus the width of a full-size tire, because that's more crop, right? Every square meter counts. This drive down to the store, I would say it's just about the perfect distance for a drive. You know, just to feel like you're getting somewhere without feeling like you're driving all over the map. I like a little bit of driving in Farm Sim. But I know some maps, the ones that are laid out like a Z, right? Sometimes there's a shortcut, but the ones that are laid out like a Z, where if you're at one end of the Z and you need something from the other end, it's like you got to drive ridiculous amounts of distance. You can't just go straight across. You have to kind of zigzag back and forth across the map and spend, I don't know, 5 minutes, 8 minutes. It doesn't seem like a long time, but when you just need to go pick something up, right, something quick, and you don't want to teleport, it can really, you know, do that a few times in a row. All right, back down here, and I'm hoping this will empty out this IBC and it will despawn, so we can leave a clean parking lot. What? All right. Oops. For some reason, I don't know, I guess I was thinking that seat. For some reason, I thought this thing didn't top off. Just pretend that didn't happen. How embarrassing. All right, back to field 1. Here we go. But we know we have seed at the store. We definitely have seed. So we'll bring one of the drills down and get that, and then take everything back to the farm, combine it into one pallet up there, and tuck it away somewhere. Get through there. Yep. And yeah, because it's already 2 in the afternoon. Yeah, I'm glad we went with 5x time. I don't do that very often. I don't think I've ever done it in stream before. I typically work 1-to-1 and then accelerate time off camera. But this will be nice, because if we go another 30 to 40 minutes in real life, we may be getting all the way to sunset. It'd be nice. And what I'll do then off camera is I'll skip 1 day, and we'll come back on day 4. Seasons breaks everything into thirds. We're running 9-day seasons, so we'll see changes in crops on day 4 and day 7 of any particular season. So, yep. Now, field 1, we're going to run out a lot quicker, because field 3-7, we were only spraying half. Oh, should have topped this thing off when I was down there. Yeah, it's a Friday. I should have topped this thing off. In fact, we still can. Let's do it right now. Let's get turned around and go back before we get all the way up here. Because what's going to happen is we're going to be using so much more of this stuff. We're going to be using so much more herbicide when we're spraying double the amount. Not that gate. What? What? No, this gate over here. This. What? This gate right here. This is the one I want. This one. There we go. We're going to be spraying twice as much herbicide by volume. And field 1 is bigger than field 3.7. So I think, yeah, let's be smart about this. Do this now. Because we will go through a lot more than we did on that other one. Okay. All right. Back to the store. And then I'll come down. Probably won't do it on camera, but I will come down. Well, if we have enough to finish, we'll just finish with the sprayer. But whether we run out or not, off camera, I'll come down, grab the rest, take it back up to the farm and dump it out in an IBC up there. Again, so we keep the parking lot of the store clean and don't leave a lot of junk down there. All right. Yeah, I may as well do this now. I mean, we weren't that far from the farm, but we'll be more productive if we fill this thing before we start spraying and run it till it's empty, rather than just using half a tank and then coming down and refilling. It seems like it seems like it's the same whether we fill it now or fill it later, but in my head it's different. I could be wrong. All right. I don't know if more horsepower in this tractor would have made any difference. I think with the tires that we selected, I think we just weren't getting any grip. Because you would think 90 horsepower would be enough, even with a realism mod. You would think 90 horsepower would be enough just to drive up a field with a sprayer on the back, even a loaded sprayer. Could be wrong. All right, so one more of these, like that. Hang on. Oh, right, because we're running the hose mod. Okay. How much money have we spent today? Like almost 20 grand. Ugh. This is how we go broke. All right. So we'll get that refilled. There we go. And there's still plenty in there. So whether this runs out or not, I'll have to come down and essentially use the sprayer to transport rather than taking that IBC up to the farm with like a front loader or something. I'll just transfer it into the sprayer, then go up to the farm and unload it. Yeah, it's already 2:30 in the afternoon in game. The sun's starting to get a little bit low. All right. And when we go past that gate, I will hop out and close it. Or did I already close it? Can't remember. Gotta think about leaving gates open. And then the last thing I want to do today before we wrap up is I want to see how much wool we have. They started to spawn a pallet overnight. I think it had 800 liters on it as of this morning. And they go to 2,000. And wool is like 1,500 per 1,000 right now. So about 3,000 pounds per pallet. So that'll help us out. And the next big expense we're going to have, we'll need to spray a little bit of fert. But the next big expense we have, I think, is going to be leasing a combine harvester. And we'll probably buy a trailer. Yeah, there's such a difference coming up that little hill, whether this thing is fully loaded or even half loaded. Because last time when we came up here just a few minutes ago, it was half loaded. We had 500 liters in, and we didn't race up that hill or anything, but we didn't struggle up it like that. Now let me close this gate before I forget. And this is going to be our placeable area back here. I discovered this last episode. We got this nice flat placeable area. I've got the modular BGA builder. I think it would fit here. I just don't know how appropriate it would be to build like a bioreactor behind this little, you know what I mean? Behind this little farmhouse. All right. So close that. Hop in here. Get up to field 1. And how are we doing on time? Yeah. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay, so the T-dub is done. Take a look and see how they did. And we did... Oh, you know what? I can't remember. Off the top of my head, I can't remember whether or not we turned... Oh, God. I can't remember whether or not we turned Proceed on or off in the T-dub. I think it was off. I hope it was off, because it's possible, right, that if Proceed was, like, running in the background, the courseplay made it absolute disaster of that field. I mean, I'll go back in and fix it off camera, but I think I turned it off. I want to say I turned it off. God, I hope I did. I hope I did. Now, the way that this is rigged, I don't even know if we have enough horsepower to get up that little dirt track to field 1. In real life, I would think we would, but who knows with this realism mod. Go right through here. There we are. And we're running a mud mod as well. I think that may be taxing our grip a little bit. Yeah, I don't know where those stripes came from, because we did... Yeah, we cultivated that field before we seeded it, did we not? I thought we did. I'm going to... let's just pull this into the driveway, the bottom of the hill, and then we'll go out and see how our workers are doing. So we're going to go right around here. And let's just go right here. All right. Turn that off. So this field should have no tram lines, because we just got a basic worker doing basic stuff. Now they are going all the way to the edges of the field, which I'm happy about. Let's go here. Yeah, they worked all the way to the edges of the field. I mean, down here, it skipped a little bit. But, again, we can fix some of that manually, if we even need to. You know, after spending all that time in cattle and crops, I'm sort of, I don't know. I try to avoid just painting fields. I don't think that's necessarily the best or most realistic way to play. Okay, this looks pretty good. No tram lines, so no disaster there. And we did get all the way out to the edges of the field, so that's good. So we've got 4 wheat, 1 canola. All right. So let's get this out of the way. Yeah, we've spent enough time driving back and forth to the store. I think for now we'll leave that. This worker's still working. Let's spray for weeds in field 1. And then we'll start shuttling things down to the farm. Getting things unloaded. As far as like getting seed unloaded from those drills. Yep. All right, so up to field 1. Man, I hope this works. I think it's only field 3-7 that's all screwy like that. Oi, come on. Yeah, I'll take a look and see if there's a way we can edit some of this stuff. I mean, because I swear it was here. Realistic steering, open settings. That's what I was looking for. Left shift 6. Oh. Alright. That's just steering. That's not grip. Alright. I knew I saw that menu somewhere, but it doesn't... I don't think it controls any of the grip or realism settings or mass settings. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Any real farmers in the chat right now? You tell me, would 90 horsepower be able to move this thing up this hill? I would think so, but I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. And also, what is our guy has been so good, the JCB, they've been so good in that whole field. And then just down toward the bottom, it's like, nah, I don't want to go to the end of these rows. I'm going to stop right here. All right. Yeah, this is, like, what's happening right here is, I wouldn't say it's my least favorite part of gaming, but this sort of behavior, this is why I can't play SnowRunner anymore. I used to love SnowRunner, but as the maps have gotten progressively more and more OP, I don't know, I find that I just don't enjoy it anymore because I don't have a problem with a slow game, but it's very difficult for me to play a tedious game. And I don't know if it's a combination of the map and the mods that we're running, but what's happening right now just seems, for one thing, it's not fun, and it seems unrealistic. It seems that, from what I know about tractors and physics, it seems that a 90 horsepower tractor would be able to gear down adequately to drive up here with nothing on but a sprayer. Could be wrong. But, yeah, it's sort of a buzzkill, you know? Because well, I mean, we can rent a bigger tractor, we can drive down to the store, get something else. I don't know. That all feels like sort of quitting. And that's, more than anything else, that's the reason I can't play SnowRunner. is because I won't give up with OCD and everything else. I won't give up on getting some of those missions done. And I'll just spend an hour going 1 mile per hour. And it's not a good use of my time. Am I going to play? Brother, I am playing. Or are you asking, am I going to play Beat Saber? I mean, if it's a VR game, I could tell you I'm not going to play it because I don't have a VR headset. Yeah, this is a bit over the top. I don't know, man. Maybe we'll disable some of these realism mods. I had to do that on the Western Shore. I had to edit more realistic because it was just, come on, man. Come on. All right, on. Well, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. What are you thinking so far? Are you do you play Farm Sim, or is it your first experience with it? It's not normally like we're on a bit of a struggle bus with this little tractor right here. It's not normally this slow. And if we can just get some side hill here, we're going to go down to the grass verge on the other end, and hopefully be able to make some progress here. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, I feel bad that I'm like doing this to you, but I don't know. I don't know where the break in the chain is. It is, and well, like what's going on right now, this would not happen in base game, but I am running some realism mods that change the grip and the mass of the tractors a little bit. So the fact that you can mod the game and make it more realistic. It sort of cuts both ways. For the most part, I do like adding realism mods, but as you can see, sometimes they need a little tweaking. Jaden, I am most likely not going to play Need for Speed. I don't own it. I don't plan on buying it. All the race sims that I have are, for the most part, more realistic race sims. The only non-realistic race sim that I have is Project Cars 2, and a lot of people think that's a pretty realistic race sim. But my sims are iRacing and R-Factor 2 and Race Room. That's how I like to race. I haven't played Need for Speed in probably 10 years. I think it was the last one I played. God, this is... Even I'm starting to get a little irritated now. This is ridiculous. I'll have to take a look and see if I can edit out this XML file, because this is these row crop tires are... This is just dumb. Yeah, you know, I mean, I feel like I have a perfect understanding of Project Cars 2, and I understand why they went in the direction they did for Project Cars 3. Project Cars 2 is not realistic enough for the iRacing crowd, and it's way too realistic and way too demanding if you just want to, like, drive cars and have fun. So it's too realistic for the BeamNG and Need for Speed crowd, and it's not realistic enough for the R-Factor 2 crowd. Basically, Project Cars 2 just pissed off everybody. And it sucks because they have such a great collection of cars, and they have so many cool tracks. I think the way the cars are curated... Oh, for goodness sakes. I'm just going to drive across the middle of the goddamn field. I don't know what else to do, because this is... I'm not sure what the problem is. I don't know if we have inadequate horsepower for this tractor. I don't know if the mod is broken. I have no data to tell me how to fix this problem. All I know is we're going like 1 effing mile per hour, and it's really starting to piss me off. This is not fun. Yeah, I love the cars in PC2, and I love the tracks, and I really do. I like the game. The AI is it's not so good. But I really do like Project Cars 2, and I feel bad that it's in that dead zone between game and sim, and for that reason, it's like nobody likes it. But I think it's a fantastic game. I do enjoy it. I like the day-night cycle and the weather as well. I think Assetto Corsa Competizione really filled a gap in the realistic sim market when they came strong with day, night, and weather. Because I love Race Room, but no day, night, and no weather. I'd say it's a tie between iRacing and Assetto Corsa Competizione. Assetto Corsa Competizione it's not very wide, but it's very deep. and iRacing is just iRacing. There's nothing else feels like racing against other people. And the way that they have set everything up. Jaden, what's going on, my man? Are you okay? I'm worried about you. All right, so we've got choices here, chat. I can... Yeah, this is no good. This is no good. You deserve better than this. Okay. So we're going to go here, we're going to go here, we're going to go here, and we're going to go here, here, and return this. And I don't care if I take the financial hit. We got to fix this. JoJo. I don't do the JoJo. Who's JoJo? What's it all about? So we just need row crop tires. All right, we're going to try this. And we're going to bump up to 150 horsepower. All right. If this doesn't work, we're not going to run road tires again. At least not with this realism mod. All right. And also, before we dip, let's go here, and let's get a weight. Let's get. We can do this. At least that. Yep. Where is it? Where's our weight? There it is. All right. Yeah, I get a little bit triggered when that happens. Because the biggest problem for me is I don't have any information as far as how to fix this. Do we need to come off the row crop tires? Do we need more horsepower? Do we need to let the field grow? You recommend not to watch. Okay. I mean, I like anime. I like manga. Just not familiar with the quote. All right. And we'll also see how the JCB is doing. Yeah, I feel like I got to fix this episode now. I feel like everything's come off the rails. Let's try a couple things. Let's drive up the field without the sprayer on. Because that, I mean, in fairness, it's got 2,000 liters in. That is 2 tons. It's 4,000 pounds we got. So that is quite a bit of weight. And that was a pretty small tractor, 90 horsepower. So we're going to drive up the field, bottom to top, with no sprayer on, and see if we can even do that. If we can't, then I'm comfortable saying it is the row crop tires. If we can, then we'll go back and hook up the sprayer and try it again and see if we can do that. And if we can do that, then we will continue. But boy, that was rough. I was feeling the stress. I tell myself it's just pixels, you know, and I really don't like to get, well, I don't like to get upset about anything. But I certainly don't like to get upset about something as trivial as a video game. But something about just going slow and not understanding why you're going slow. I don't know, man. That just, that triggers me. All right, but we'll sort it out. And at the very least, we did get field 37. I don't know what's going on there, but at the very least, we got field 7 and field 6 drilled. And we will get those implements returned. We'll get all that seed consolidated and take it down to the farm. And the map is Purbeck Valley, formerly Naveswell, by Tomex. Tomex 55. All right, and we'll go right through here. And then right through here, and it is, yeah, it's up here. All right, so this is test number 1, because we were having a hard time getting up this lane in the class. Yeah. Now we've got probably about 50% more horsepower, because we were 90 before, we're 150 now. So a little over more than a 50% horsepower boost. Okay, so that is test number 1. Now we're going to drive up the grass verge and see how that goes. Piece of cake. All right. Let's drive in the field a little bit, see how we do on soil. Not as grippy. Definitely feeling a difference, but we're still making good progress. So let's go get hooked up to this thing and see, is it horsepower or is it this sprayer? I don't know, man. I love realism, but I am aware, I'm well aware that you got to be careful with realism, because there are some things, there's some realistic aspects of work sim is what I think of these. When you're farming, when you're driving a train, when you're driving a bus, you're working. You're doing a job that people do for a living. And when you simulate working, you need to leave some bits out, because there are some parts of working that are just really boring and silly and not fun. So, of course you have to leave that out. That doesn't make for a very entertaining video game. All right. I mean, I guess we can call it either horsepower or not enough weight on the front, because this is 150 horsepower. We're not going fast, but we're moving steadily. So I think the Kloss was just a little bit too small, and unfortunately the only way that we could figure that out was trial and error. I wasn't getting any data or feedback to let me know that's what the problem was. But all right, close one. So let's get unfolded here, and we do have weeds in this field. We do not. And I did lease the tractor with GPS, but I don't think we need it, right? Because we do have the tram lines. All right, so let's back the cruise control down a little bit. Right about here. All right. Yeah, I'm assuming horsepower. Possibly weight, but I'm assuming horsepower for the little Kloss, because this seems to be, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's a lot better. And the way we're bouncing around side to side, I did lift the booms up a little bit. All right, so that's third person. Let's see how this looks in cab. And is our worker still working? Yeah, the JCB is still working away. Good for them, man. And if I calculated all this out properly, and I think I did, back into the tram lines. Our booms should just about clear everything. Here's hoping. All right, there's that. And then back this way. I mean, it's not perfect. I'd like the joints to be a little bit more rounded, I guess. You know, where we transition from the length to the, I don't know, the little connectors between them. I'd like those to be nice, smooth, rounded corners, but can't always get what you want. But for the most part, it's going okay. All right. We'll hop back in here. Same thing down at this end. I calculated it out several times, and there's at least 3 headlands, sometimes 4 on the edges of the field, and I think that's all the space that we need to clear these trees. Oh, close. Close. God, we were just like banging and bouncing around this field. All right. But we're getting it done. So the field is darkening, so we are applying this herbicide, and I believe this will prevent any weeds from growing, but I could be wrong about that. I know, like in early days of FS19, as soon as you sprayed the weeds, they turned black. And we did that in Field 3.7, and they didn't turn black, but Field 3.7 is very odd. There's something going on over there. So I think at the moment it may be bugged out. Not in the map, but just the way we seeded it, or the way, I don't know, something. So we'll need to see what happens with that field. We could have a lot of weeds in there. Hopefully we don't. There's the T-dub. JCB is still working. Okay. So we'll make one more turn here. And then... yeah, in hindsight, I don't even think we needed to buy that other IBC that we bought. I mean, it'll get used because we still got 3 more fields. Yeah, we've got 3 more fields. We'll have to spray for weeds, so it'll go. But money's a little dear right now. We could have hung on to that instead of buying that second one. Not a big deal. All right, so now, how do we want to do this? I mean, I don't just want to drive back and forth to the store multiple times, but I think we sort of have to. I think we do. I think we're going to have to head down there. So we'll go to the farm, unload this thing, go down and pick up the rest, bring that back, then take the Ford down, load up on seed, bring that back and unload it, and then get everything dropped off that way. Okay. All right, so these 2 fields are done for weeds. I might keep this thing. In fact, yeah, let's do that. Instead of driving back and forth to the store over and over, let's just take the Ford down, refill the seeds, and then we'll see how the JCB is doing and call it. All right. There's that. Pull that. And right out this way. And we can even leave this here. I don't think it matters. Yeah, we'll just leave this right down at the bottom of the lane. Right down here. Yeah. All right. And what time is it in game? 5 o'clock. Perfect. So 5x, I guess, works for time. At least in spring. Days will get a little bit longer in summer. But for now, it works. All right. Where is the Ford? And they are interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'll need to go in and clean that up a little bit. I don't know why it's ending those rows so far from the edge of the field, but we'll clean those up. But mostly it's doing okay. All right, so we'll take the Ford off of course play, pull it up, open the gate. Whoa. Right in here. All right. And that is up. All right. And this thing is, I mean, I don't want to, oh, you know what we can do? I know what we can do. Let's empty it here. And then whatever we have at the store will definitely fit. I was going to drive it back down to the store full to bring that seed up. But if we empty it now, then we know that what's down there will fit in. Okay. And I'm just going to dump this here for now. We can be more specific. We'll have to get a front loader or something at some point. But for now, I think we can just dump this back here. And here somewhere. All right, so that's empty. Yep, that's empty. Go down to the store. Get loaded up, come back here, see how the JCB is doing, take a look at the wool spawn, and then we're done. All right. Oh, that was a little rough in the middle. Mea culpa. I do apologize. I get, that is, yeah, I would say that is my trigger. When something is not working properly and I can't get any information on why not. That's just, ugh. So we'll be more aware of that. And I'll see if I can find a thread. I'll see if I can find something on Reddit or something from the modder about that more realistic, well, it's not more realistic, I don't want to call it that because there is a specific mod called more realistic, and this is slightly different. But the realism mod that I'm using, let me see if I can find some more information on that and figure out what's going on. Do I know a drone? I'm not entirely clear on what you mean by that. Like, do I know about different types of drones? I know a little bit. I don't have a drone, but I know a little bit about them. Or do you mean like a person? I'm not entirely clear. All right, and yeah, the JCB, when we had the JCB on the subsoiler, they quit working when they got down to that little sort of triangular tapered part of the field, bottom of field 7. But with the drill on there, they're just working away, so works for me. All right. I don't want to keep that sprayer for another 3 days. But I don't know when. Well, I mean, I guess we could spray those fields for weeds. Yeah, I'll do that off camera. We can spray those fields for weeds before they have weeds in them. So I'll spray. Whoa! I'll spray field 7 and field 2, and there's one more maybe. Yeah, there is. I'll spray those fields on this lease, right? I'll go down and pick up the rest of what's down at the store, get everything transported back to the farm, then return all that equipment. So next episode, maybe we'll, I don't know, throw some fert, take care of the animals, and maybe skip ahead a few days and see if we can get into, I don't know. I mean, we don't have a lot going on the farm, so I think the next thing that happens might be harvest. We'd have to skip a lot of days to get there, but we would get a nice, we'd have a lot of wool spawn. So I can do that. I'll skip those days off camera, but we'll figure it out. Between now and next stream, I'll figure it out. All right. Carefully out here. I did not see a horsepower requirement on that sprayer. I can take another look before the end of the stream, but I did not see a horsepower requirement. And other than that, as far as being able to handle the weight, I don't know if there's any type of a measurement or metric or qualification for that you can see in game. Oh, 200 liters. Oh, you know what though? It makes sense. We'll get all the stuff up to the farm, get it consolidated. All right. I need to turn some lights on here momentarily. Yeah, 5:30. All right, we'll go with 5x in the future. I think that works. I know people definitely leave time accelerated at either 5x or 10x or whatever. I typically don't, but I think it really worked out well. So we'll start doing that. I mean, I can't see a reason why we wouldn't do that every stream. You just got molded by a dog. I'm not familiar with that term. I don't know what it means to be molded by a dog. Around there. Fantastic. Yeah, I'll clean up the edges of... A dog bit you all over. That's not good, Jaden. You all right, my man? That's something you... If at all possible, that's something you should avoid in this life. You're saying you got mauled by a dog? Something else that I was missing in cattle and crops was the fact that really nothing was happening on the map other than the fields that we owned and were working on. There are no neighboring farms. And so during the year, nothing happens with the fields around you. I mean, in a way, that's probably good, because the more crops are in fields in cattle and crops, the more the FPS drops off. And I know they're working on that. But at the moment, the more full the fields are, the slower the game plays. So maybe that's a blessing in disguise. But it is nice to see, as we're moving around the map, it is nice to see other things happening in the Farm Sim franchise. I think that's one of the perks, is that you do have neighbors and they do things and crops grow. I would love to see farm traffic, though. How long are we going to have to wait till we see farm traffic? Because traffic does spawn. I just, for the life of me, cannot figure out why either Giants or modders don't spawn in farm vehicles. It seems like, you know what I mean? I don't want to say it's a no-brainer, but it seems like it's kind of a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you do that? All right, so we're going to go third person here. And I'm going to back in and combine these two. Combine these three. Yeah, I think we can fit all this in here. I'm going to try to fit all of this in here and then unload it as 2 pallets. And I think that may work. Oh, we still have that fert spread over there. All right, I'm glad I saw that, because if not, I would have leased another. Okay, so we unload this. There we go. Pull this forward. That folds up. Drop that, and then we go here and return it. Right. So go here, garage, leased items, and this thing can go back. Return it. You got it. All right. And then the Ford, we can, for now, we can just stuff it right in here. Don't need it for the moment. You always miss the end of the live stream? Well, if you can stick around for about 5 minutes, I think you'll see the end of this one. There's the Fent. All right, and how is... Oh, look at that. JCB went all the way to the edge of the field. Yeah, they stopped almost all the way through when they had the subsoiler on, but they're... All right, perfect. This gate is open. These fields need fert. Do they not? 2 and 6, do they need fert? They do. They can get a third layer. Field 7 can get a third layer as well. Okay, so next episode, why don't we... Ooh, what we can do is put row crop tires... Well, we already have row crop tires on the Fent. We'll see if the Fent will take the fert spreader. And we'll do these 3 fields. And then 3-7 can get a third layer of fert. Yeah. Okay, so these 4 fields. Okay, we'll do that next episode. And then weeding? Yeah, I'm baffled by this, because we sprayed for weeds here. But field 3-7, there's something funny going on. Because look at that. What's that all about? But then if you go into the field, it says it's fine, right? Like the planted crop texture is 100%. What? Oh, it's completely in the other field. Oh, JCB, what are you doing, man? Madness. So field 3-7 looks good, but I mean, it looks good in person, but then on the map it's all screwy. So we'll get that sorted out. And I think we're just about done for today. Yeah, a little over 2 hours. This is going to take just these few lengths here. Probably going to take another 10 or 15 minutes, and that's all that's going on. So I'll go ahead and call it here. Let's get this turned off. Get that turned off. There we go. We'll go ahead and call it. I'll come back tomorrow. We're going to do ATS with the new Freightliner Cascadia. And then Sunday, we're going to do X-Plane Makeup Stream. We're going to go from... why are the clouds moving so fast? Is that right? Is that normal? I just went back and double-checked to see if we had like 10x time on or something. That's a little bit ominous. All right. So we'll do ATS and the Freightliner Cascadia tomorrow. We'll do X-Plane Makeup Stream on Sunday, fly from Paris to Amsterdam. And then most likely back in Farm on Monday. back in FS19. So there you go. Thanks, everybody. I do appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the stream. See you next time. Take care.